Hello everybody and welcome back to my learning space. Cape Town born Winston Mankunku is a legendary jazz saxophonist from South Africa, and this is a song that he recorded off of his album called Jika that he collaborated with Mike Perry. So I'm going to take you through the progression. The song is in the key of F major. Okay, and it starts on chord 1. And chord 1 is a major 7 chord. And I thought it was kind of easiest to voice it in root position. So here's the bass note. And if you listen to the recording, the melody kind of has a harmony underneath it. That's how I harmonize it there. And then what happens is that the F stays as a pedal note, but the B flat 6, now we have B flat 6 over F, which is the 5 of B flat, of the B flat chord. So, and I'm voicing it 5, 6, 1, and 3. And then same here, I'm harmonizing the melody with this D. In the next part of the melody, it first does B flat major 6 over F, and then it actually goes to G minor 6. So now we have G minor in this section, which I'm voicing it pretty much the same as the B flat major 6. It's kind of, the chords are really similar, they're almost the same, but I've added the 9th, the 7th of G minor 7, the 9th, the 3rd, and the 5. So and then we have C sus, which I played 11, 7, and 1, or you could also have the 9. Chord app is a very useful tool for me to be able to explain to you guys some of the concepts and ideas that I like. It can surely also be a useful application if you are trying to learn piano and trying to see what are some of the chords that you are playing. Chord app can be really helpful with this. If you have $25 to spare and really improve your playing, look in my description and find the link to purchase Chord app. Have fun. In the second section, it lets go of the pedal. So now we have a plain kind of 1, 4, 5 progression. By the way, it was still a 1, 4, 2, 5, but in the beginning, but it was pedaled. Now we have it without pedal. So here we have F triad. And what I did in the beginning is I turned this into a F sus, because then the F sus becomes the 5 of chord 4. F sus, I like to look at it as, you can look at it as C minor over F, or you can look at it as E flat triad over F. So you can also make this a B flat add 2. have the sus here, you can also have sus and then go to C7. The melody is Let's talk about some ideas that you can use to improvise over a progression like this. So I'll divide it into maybe 3 sections. The first one would be understanding the key that you're working in. So here we would probably want to use bebop major. I would say also to use the major pentatonic. Diatonic major 7th patterns are also really useful. So let's try to employ some of these things. So I'm going to try to use the major bebop major scale here first. So if we have F major, try to use it in a way where I can land down on the chord tones, and when we use bebop major it helps you do that. So I'm playing it as plainly as possible, but obviously you can be more creative with it. The other thing I mentioned was pentatonics. Pentatonic will be 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 1. So for some reason when I use pentatonic, I like to think of it rather in the minor perspective. I just feel like it gives me more options when I think of it as minor. Diatonic major 7ths. We're literally taking things from the ground up, you know. Basic things are the things that we need to know, okay? Before you can even play any hectic thing. If you don't know basics, it's kind of like you don't have anywhere to grow from. So I think these ideas, I think they are really important for you to be able to understand the major scale, which is what the song is in. So I'm gonna do diatonic 7ths. Okay, you want to play them in different kinds of ways as well. Same thing with the scales. You want to play the scales in different kind of ways, starting at various chord tones. So patterns. I like to use a pattern on chord 1, which would be 1, 2, 3, 5. But you could also invert this pattern and put the 5 first. So like 5, 1, 2, 3. And this can be very useful. Could even do the pattern on the minor. So if we do 1, 2, because here we would essentially be on G minor, or you can think of it, I said in the beginning it was B flat 6, but I kind of approach it in a way where it's already on G minor. So we do those are useful things that you can use. Patterns also on the alt of the C7. So we need here, we do something like so we could do We could put patterns in pretty much so many places, but let's take one here on the dominant chord. It's also a minor pattern, but it's a half step above. It's kind of like C sharp minor pattern. Now you take these things and you try to put them together and in an interesting way. And I guess the more things you learn, the more you have to take from. But in the same token, I'd like to say that it's so worthy to spend time on one thing, because if you don't spend time on one thing, then it's kind of like you will forget about it by the time next week comes. You want to practice something to the point where you can get it under your fingers before you move to the next. You could always pause the video if you find something interesting. Let's move on to the next section. Another interesting thing is also to, when you're in a key, a major key, try to think of it as a minor. So I'm going to think of this as D minor and see where it takes me. So I'm playing everything D minor.